Okay, this is video 2 of Civil Discourse with ABC on the existence of man's soul. Let me start off where I left off in video 1. You made a point that our feelings and perceptions can lead to very wrong conclusions. I agree with that. I do not debate you on that issue. You also made the point that you can change people's personalities using pills, electrical impulses, damaging the brain. You gave Phineas Gage as an example, and removing parts of the brain. You gave the example that removing some specific brain areas also permanently removes your memories. You also mentioned hallucinations, out-of-body experiences, and the fact that the more often you have an experience, you build a little bridge between neurons. The more often you have this experience, the stronger the bridge becomes. Now, at around 6 minutes into your video, you state, if our brain gets damaged, our personalities gets damaged. If our brain gets damaged, our memories can be lost. Now, before I offer my counterpoints to your points, please let me offer a silly baseball analogy. I know this is silly, but it is important for you to understand how I fundamentally view things different than you. Here's the analogy. A cork and rubber ball covered in cowhide flies through the air about 60 feet, where it comes into contact with a rapidly revolving stick. The ball bounces off the stick in many different trajectories and eventually finds its way to a leather glove. The ball then flings itself from the glove to another leather glove in the vicinity of a white canvas square. All of this is true in a way, but the entire point is missed. The ball, the bat, and the bases are not playing baseball. They are the equipment the players use. It is the players, not the equipment, that are actually playing the game. Now, I would hope that you would acknowledge that since I fundamentally view the soul and brain combination much different than you, I of course will have different perspective. Almost all of your arguments are based around the act of damaging or stimulating the brain, and you also claim it affects personality. When you talk of damaging the brain or affecting the brain, it does not surprise me that there would be consequences in this earthly world. In my view, if you damage the soul's equipment, it can no longer express its desire in the same fashion as before. Now let's talk a bit about personality. A popular website defines personality as the visible aspect of one's character as it impresses others. The personality is not the soul. Let me give you an example. A woman who has just found out that her husband is cheating on her is hosting a very formal and important party. On the outside, this woman is smiling and appears to be enjoying herself to all in the room. But in her inner soul, the woman is heartbroken. The personality is not the soul. Now, you also make a statement I thought was interesting to consider. It was, the more often you have an experience, you build a little bridge between neurons. The more often you have this experience, the stronger the bridge becomes. Now, it does not surprise me that when the soul-brain combination learns to, say, play the piano, there is a physical, observable aspect to learning this new skill. The soul is simply fine-tuning its equipment, and there is a physical aspect that surfaces because of this. I believe all of your other arguments centered around personality changes, and in my view, this is not persuasive to someone who views the soul as using the brain equipment to express its earthly desires. Now let me put forth some additional ideas for dualism that I think add to my own view on the matter. The brain is a highly arranged formation of matter, but matter, protons, electrons, and neutrons nonetheless. A rock is also matter. I would argue that matter by itself is incapable of originating desire. An analogy would be a computer system that is running a complex operating system. The computer just runs and runs in a purposeless fashion. But unless someone sits at the keyboard and initiates actions, the computer is purposeless. The physical brain is the same way. We need the soul to animate and provide purpose and desire to the brain. Physical matter is incapable of the concept of focus of thought and initiating desire. Now let me offer a new statement that I just happened upon, and I truly think is an incredible statement for putting forth the idea of dualism. I'm about to read the statement, and I would ask what your views are on this argument. If physicalism is true, and we are completely governed by the physical processes that affect our brain, then there can be no such thing as the free will of man. But we do have free will, and there is a randomness to our free will. So there must be something more to the physical processes ongoing inside our brain. Above all, I believe in the independence and free will of mankind. I would actually fight for your right to be an atheist, and I would not want to live in any society that forces any belief system upon you. Now, if you truly believe in physicalism, you have not only rejected your own eternal soul, but you have rejected the idea of a free will in this earthly life. Your belief system says that everything is governed by physical processes, and the outcome of every decision you will ever make is predestined. The life of every man is going to be predestined. I reject this with every fiber in my being. Why are we even having this discussion if what you say is true? Of course, physicalism is not true. We have a free will. We are sentient beings not governed by physical processes or physical matter. I would also add that the potential evil of using physicalism to espouse prejudice against the mentally ill is abhorrent to me. In full disclosure, I have mentally ill family members, so this is something that hits home. I fully expect some YouTuber schmucks to comment about my mentally ill family members, but who cares? We're having a conversation about the existence of the soul. I can easily ignore them. If your belief system takes over the world, people who are mentally ill or brain damaged could be classified by the elitist leaders as not having the same value as someone who has a fully functioning brain. Your belief system justifies the actions of these potential evil leaders to eliminate people with damaged brains. These are the ethical issues that I have with your belief system. I believe positions like yours, physicalism, we are our physical brains, unwittingly lay the foundation for some of the most vile and disgusting prejudice against mankind that has ever existed. Now, ABC, I sincerely think you are a truly wonderful human being. I mean that to the bottom of my heart. I do not transfer my disgust for atheism to you as a person. I wish nothing but happiness and good things for you. I sincerely expect to talk to you in an afterlife. I do not reject the free will of man. I do not reject man's eternal soul. I believe in an eternal and moral and ethical accountability for the actions performed in this life. You do not. That is okay. Sincerely, please keep espousing whatever ideas you hold as true, and I promise to do the same. Ultimately, I believe God will work it out, all out. Take care, ABC. This is Lone Star.